Hector Flores secret.
I've been watching a lot of Kushida's old matches from Japan. He was on a whole other level, and he's only gotten better. No offense, but you and the rest of the NXT roster can't touch him. If he locks in his finisher, it's over. Unless you could hit your finisher first. Doubtful, though.
I'll take Kushida. I will take Kushida.
We are about to see something good.
Am I coming out with a belt yet? Where's my belt?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from London, England. Weighing in at 219 pounds, Carter Cassidy. His form.
Where's my belt? Oh, what?
The future has arrived. A man who bends limbs, joints, and time itself.
And his opponent from Tokyo, Japan. Weighing in at 192 pounds, Kushida.
We got Kushida.
Roebuck is nowhere to be seen now in this no disqualification match.
The perfect way to settle a rivalry that has gone out of control. There is nothing you can't do to your opponent in this match.
Oh, it's a finisher match.
Oh, stomping away. Oh, kick connects. Uh-oh. Half and hurt suplex. Lights out. Looking wobbly in the corner. Going up to the top.
Oh,
What are we gonna see
yoinking his
here?
neck.
Dragon sleeper locked in. Oh, my God. Double under applied. Oh, Kushida avoids contact. This match grinded him down a little. Kushida with great timing. Carefully placed stomp to the arm. Perhaps a unique suplex. Wrist clutch suplex. Perfect. Rolling neck snap. Oh, flipping the script on him there. And responds with a counter of their own. Suplex. He manages to escape it. Jumping DDT. Ooh, dodges. Whatever's playing here can't be good. Brutal escape as that maneuver was taking just too long to materialize. Package drive.
That's spear him. That's spear him out of the skin. No, I'm not.
Turn around at Kushida. Uh-oh. Watch this incredible core strength. Up and power into the regal plex. Kushida was ready there. Boom. Makes him pay with a counter. Solid contact across the chest. Trap in the arm.
Let's go.
Here is your winner, Carter Cassidy.
What an
Do,
emphatic
do,
victory,
do,
guys.
do, do.
No contest.
I don't know if I'd say the battle scars were worth it, Cole, but I will say the one who did it to them isn't the one celebrating right now.
Bam, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. It's untraditional. $87 overall. Keith Lee, what? We got Keith. Good old Keith Lee. What the Rock is cooking. Four more %. You know, there's no one there.
Are you guys ready?
Oh, 2 cents, let's go.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from London, England. Weighing in at 219 pounds, Carter Cassidy.
While this competitor was on the Indies, he crossed paths with some future WWE superstars, but he must know this is a completely different animal.
And he's on a different level now, but the only way to prove that is by stringing victories together.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yes! Welcome to Swerve's house!
And his opponent from Tacoma, Washington. Weighing in at 201 pounds, Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Lots of swagger, but also lots of discipline. Coming from a military
I
family with
thought it was
time
Keith
spent in
Lee
the
I was
Army Reserves
facing.
himself.
A true student of the game, even hosts his own wrestling podcast on the WWE Network.
Don't sound so excited, Michael. Don't give anyone a podcast. You are never invited back. And I'm going to have your episode deleted, Saxton.
Gentlemen, you are looking at a man who is sick of the doubters, sick of being questioned about his potential.
And I can't disagree with him. I expect tonight to be a night where he can silence the skeptics and prove shoulders down for the count.
He is too fresh
Get
to
it?
have been kept down there.
Looking worse for wear in the corner now.
Face first. Belly to belly.
Shit. Swerve.
And skirts out of the pin.
Not quite.
Pulling him in for the breaker.
Right to the lower back.
In full control here. Face full of turnbuckle. And now Swerve is getting beaten down.
Yeah, Swerve's athleticism being well countered.
He's ejected from the ring. Slingshot. Oh, the high risk doesn't pay off. That was playing with fire and getting burned.
The decision to take such a risk at this juncture is questionable.
And Isaiah gets kept grounded with that hit. Knife edge chop echoing through the arena.
Dragon sleeper locked in. Oh, my God. Straining that trapezius muscle.
This is an incessant attack being brought to him.
Yeah, but he's always one counter away from changing things. Half suplex. Lights out.
Swerve manages to counter.
Yeah, Swerve able to stop that surge dead in its tracks.
Oh. Okay.
Able to counter.
Get the fuck out of here.
Up to the top rope now. High risk. He misses
High
the
risk.
target. Short flight, but a rough landing.
Oh boy.
Nice enziguri. This is going to be stiff. Suplex. Standing shooting star press. Incredible.
That cunning attack is just a snapmare.
Kick to the side of the neck.
Swerve may have put the exclamation on this.
The cover. 2, 3. No. 2 count.
Kick out too. You're done now.
I don't know how many more times he's going to be able to kick out after that. That was too close for comfort. Listen, that should have ended things. And look at his face. At this point, you have to believe he's losing some faith in himself. Hooked up. Oh, my God, a small package driver. 2. And a kick out at 2.
This is no time to hesitate. You can feel the end coming.
We're looking for it.
He's lining him up.
We're looking for it. Case closed. Oh.
Answer for that one. The springboard attack fails to land. That one's scouted. Oh, right to the kidneys. Golly. Heading up, he's thinking big.
To the skies. And Swerve expected that.
Swerve
Oh,
manages
bastard.
to counter. Snapmare.
By Swerve scout.
Will Swerve take advantage?
He gets the kick out after the 1.
Look at the
1 count kick out.
He can't believe it.
Uh-oh. He's absorbing some tough hits now.
There's been plenty of action in this match, and the cost of that is really showing now.
Boom! Perfectly timed with the knees.
Oh, what an uppercut. Jarring. Standing drop kick.
It ups. And that was a well-targeted attack.
Hooked up. Oh, my God, a small package driver. 2. Oh, and he kicked out at 2.
I understand the sentiment, but now is not the time to bask in disbelief.
Trapping their opponent's arm. Crossface submission time.
Will that keep Swerve grounded?
An impressive impressive win here tonight, but don't forget he now has to face Keith Lee.
Oh, cutting.
Before I get to my next match against Keith Lee, I have a few things I'd like to discuss. Hang on a second. Just let me gather my thoughts real quick.
Gather your thoughts or stall before you have to face a rested and motivated Keith Lee.
Okay, where was I? Like any top superstar would, I did my homework on Keith Lee in preparation for tonight's match. And I learned some very interesting things. See, this man is full of hashtags and motivational catchphrases, but it's all a bunch of lies. He's never lived up to a single one of them. Like, did you know that Keith Lee stole his parents' car when he was first leaving home to become a wrestler? I guess Grand Theft Auto is the true definition of limitless. Speaking of Keith's parents, turns out they didn't even want him to get into wrestling. They wanted him to continue playing football, but instead he quit, turning his back on his team and a free education that millions would die for. I doubt any of his coaches or teammates felt like basking in his glory after that. But after reading more and more about Keith Lee's backstory, one thing became clear. This is a pattern. He's always taking the easy way out, finding people who buy into his phony persona and enable him to receive countless opportunities after failing over and over again. Like, for instance, how he failed to make the cut at the Performance Center 3 times before he was bailed out by William Regal, who, to this day, continues to give him chance after chance when all he does is squander them. But this pattern really first started with Keith Lee's grandmother, who introduced him to wrestling as a young boy in Texas. Well, I can't go back and fix the giant mistake she made. I can put an end to it now. So Keith Lee, come on out here so I can expose you for what you really are. A fake, a liar, a failure, and soon to be
Wait a second.
former WWE superstar.
Keith Lee sends him forward.
Talk about a man's family and grandmother, and this is what you get.
I just got yeeted over the top rope.
Keith Lee's on a rampage. He snapped. Someone needs to
Keith
stop
Lee's
him.
on Rampage.
If anyone can talk some sense into Keith Lee, it's NXT General Manager William Regal.
And finally, it looks like cooler heads are prevailing.
He may have taken a beating, but I think this is what he wanted. He got inside Keith Lee's head, and now he has an important mental edge going into whatever their next encounter is.
Keith Lee is as tough mentally as he is physically. I'm not sure that strategy is going to work.
Did you not just see what happened? I think it's already proven extremely effective.
Da-da-da. We got Keith Lee in our hands. We gon' clap Keith Lee in the cheeks. Yep, yep, yep.
I think it's fair to say the rivalry between Keith Lee and his opponent has quickly gone from heating up to boiling over as they square off tonight at the Performance Center.
Just holding the match here is another example of Lee's opponent attempting to get into the big man's skin. But tonight, Lee will be looking to put the big talker back in his place.
Easier said than done, Saxton. Keith Lee's opponent's been basking in Lee's head, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon.
A cross body from the middle rope.
Look at this raw power.
Power bomb.
Power bomb.
Turning the tables.
Face first with a waistlock takedown.
Sit-down power bomb. Incredible impact. A burst of offense from Keith Lee.
Bask in the glory
From the middle rope. Oh, and he doesn't connect. Oh, ooh, well-planted knee.
Ouch. Keith Lee gets out of the way. Load over. Nice. DDT.
Oh.
Break that leg. Break that leg.
Oh, the heel hook.
Man, a little extra luster behind that kick.
Lee fights back.
Oh, that's just disrespect right there. I kind of like it.
Oh, he retaliates.
He went right into that turnbuckle.
Good timing with that reversal.
Oh no.
Driven down with an elevated flatliner.
Something's about to go either very wrong or very right.
Uh-oh. Way too up. Gets him with the counter. Yeah.
Going right after the neck.
Neck breaker. He's absorbed some damage already.
Rolling neck snap.
Leg trapped. Looking for the heel hook stretch.
Strong kick. My goodness.
Trap the
Ooh.
arm. Into the neck breaker.
Tilt the world neck breaker.
And Lee expected that. Belly suplex.
Had an answer for Lee.
Big impact.
Uncorks an uppercut. Neck breaker. Ouch. He's stalking his opponent from the top turnbuckle.
Break this. Elbow off the top.
High risk.
Bringing him to their feet with an elbow drop. Cover. 1, 2. Yeah, no, he doesn't get the 3.
How? How?
Catches an uppercut. Got it cinched in. This could be it.
Boom! Small package driver.
He's got to know he's in harm's way here.
Great counter, impressive ring
Fuck.
IQ on display there.
Keith Lee ground 0. Lee on the verge here.
For the win. 2. And they're still in this.
Oh, I thought that was game over. Pure guts to kick out there.
After all that, Keith Lee still hasn't closed the book on this match. Getting tossed around. Big plans in mind from Lee.
Up high.
Oh, the high risk doesn't pay off.
Axe handle from the middle rope.
Here's a
Cover.
cover.
Break.
Come on.
They can't win this way. Oh, and a 2 count and a kick out again.
He kicked out. He actually kicked out. Jarring. You're a
Spear.
Lee's down. Lee may be out.
Heel hook. Look at this. Oh, that's so painful.
It's hard to watch, too.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oh, not to the belly.
He may get the 3 count right here.
This is it. And you can debate whether or not that would have been the end. Interesting decision there.
Ooh, well measured.
Strikes with a kick. And Lee turns the tables. Kick gets caught. I trapped the leg into a belly to belly.
Wow, that was impressive.
And Keith Lee is being broken down.
Lee needs to weather this storm.
Small package driver. For the pin and the win.
Yes.
1, 2.
I guess he's thinking something else here. He's
I
clearly
need
not
to
thinking
get
about
a
winning.
30 pin.
Axe handle from the middle rope. And here comes the cover. Is it enough to...
Well, hey, feet on the ropes.
2, 3.
Yeah.
Come on, plain as day, his feet were on.
Objective completed. An equal submission match against Keith Lee. Make him tap out to the cross case.
Here we go, guys.
The following
The Limitless One.
And his opponent from Wichita Falls, Texas, weighing in at 320 pounds,
Keith Lee. I'm my best inside his glory.
The rematch as Keith Lee faces off against a superstar in a mission to break down the big man and make him quit NXT.
Well, it sure seems like Keith Lee's opponents found Lee's limit, Cole.
Keith Lee may not have been able to pick the match stipulation, but the Limitless One has never been afraid of an uphill battle. He said he won't give in or give up, and I believe him.
Tossed around like a rag doll.
Whoa, not quite yet.
A counter answered by another counter.
Reversal catches Lee.
Oh, stomping away. An elusive Keith Lee there.
Getting set up for something in the corner.
Oh, chin-breaking uppercut.
Jumping neck breaker. Ouch. I don't like the look in his eye here, folks.
High risk. Elbow drop from the top.
Uh-oh. Double axe handle. Lee falling victim to a surge of attacks here.
We're obviously gonna
See Lee get knocked around like
make
this.
Keith Lee tap out.
Roaring European uppercut.
Gonna have a little work on the arms.
Going after the arm.
Fujiwara armbar, incredible pressure.
Bad uppercut. That'll cost some teeth.
Oh my God, a small package driver.
Trapping the arm. Crossface submission time.
And that might be it for Lee.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
An emphatic victory.
You make Keith Lee tap out?
Here is your winner, Carter Cassidy.
This was as dominant a win as I've ever seen, guys.
As always, Cole, you're more polite than I am, so I'll just say what we're all thinking. This was as one-sided as it gets.
We made Keith Lee tap out. Keith Lee is limited. That's correct. So we got a little feud with Only Lorcan at the moment because of a little tweet about his dog. Oh, I should take just one for granted.
The WWE Universe just exploded!
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from London, England. Weighing in at 219 pounds, Carter Cassidy.
I have to give this guy
Well, he stands atop Mustache Mountain.
And his opponent, representing Mustache Mountain from Wolverhampton, England. Weighing in at 216 pounds, Trent Seven.
Well, he's
I thought I was fighting Only Lorcan.
And here we have a superstar who's been grinding his teeth at the Performance Center as of late.
Yeah, a consistent work ethic is what you're talking about, Michael. He's not someone who will rest on his laurels.
He never has been, and that dedication is what puts him in position to win tonight.
And he's facing off against Trent Seven, the gentleman brawler from the United Kingdom.
Yeah, Seven is such a unique athlete and a surprisingly proficient striker. Trent has the experience of flying the flag of British strong style as well as anybody.
Right to the gut. Just like that, Trent finds a counter. Shifts it back onto him. Put into the corner now.
Uppercut connects.
Hooked up. Inverted suplex. And it's reverse pain for that that mistake.
Reversal on top of reversal.
A sound suplex. And the veteran 7 looked a little overpowered on that.
It's nothing he hasn't been through before.
Trent 7 is failing to offer any resistance here.
Looks like Trent is having trouble generating any sort of defense.
Devastating kick. Stomping down.
Connects on the kick. Oh, debilitating elbow drop. He's looking completely lost as he finds his footing.
Takes control.
Momentum isn't completely out of 7's side just yet.
That might be what gets Trent out of jeopardy. And another counter.
He paid for that one. Oh, man.
For the victory. 1, 2. Digging down deep and staying alive.
How in the world?
There he goes, right into the corner. Trent 7 in a state of distress.
O'Connor looking for the win. Look at the bridge, too.
1, 2. He kicks out at 2. What a match.
Oh, my God. Pendulum backbreaker.
Tick-tock.
Bam, bam, bam.
Just like that, Trent finds a counter. Knew what was coming there.
He's positioning himself, closing in.
And 7's laid out.
That's gotta be it. 2. That's it. The blood and sweat put into this match, well worth it.
Here is your winner, Carter Cassidy.
Love it.
Also perhaps the perfect match. Never any doubt in this win.
An absolute statement by the victor here tonight. What a steamrolling.